Sophia, where are you? I'm already in the car, I just pulled up. Daria's voice on the phone sounded tired but warm. She had just finished a shift at the hospital, and all she wanted now was to pick up her daughter and get home to a bowl of dumplings. Mom, I'm coming out now. Sophia's voice trembled, as if she were holding back tears. I'm at Grandma's, in the hallway. Did something happen? Daria frowned, a wave of anxiety rising in her chest. Are you okay? I'm coming. Sophia ended the call. Daria turned off the engine and stepped out of the car. The evening was chilly, typical for Millfield at the beginning of fall. Her parents' two-story house stood at the end of the street, warm light glowing from its windows. It was Elizabeth's birthday today, Marina's daughter, Daria's older sister. Sophia had been so excited about this day. She'd spent a week making a gift, and just yesterday, she spent over an hour at the salon choosing the perfect hairstyle. Mom, I want it to be beautiful, like in the movies, she'd said, and Daria, though it hurt their budget, handed over the $60 she'd saved for a new jacket. The door opened, and Sophia stepped onto the porch. Daria froze. Her daughter, her girl with the long, shiny hair she had taken such care to style, was unrecognizable. Her hair, which that very morning reached down to her waist, had been chopped off. Uneven, jagged, like someone had taken scissors in the dark. Some strands barely reached her ears, others hung to her chin. A crooked fringe stuck out above her eyebrows. Sophia had never had bangs. Sophia stared at the ground, shoulders hunched, hands twitching. Sophia, Daria took a step forward, her voice breaking. What happened to your hair? Sophia looked up, and Daria saw her eyes glistening with tears. The girl tried to smile, but her lips trembled. They cut it, she whispered. Grandma, Aunt Marina, and Grandpa said it had to be done. What? Daria felt her face flush with heat. Who cut it? Why? Sophia sniffled and wiped her cheek with her sleeve. Elizabeth was crying. She said I was too pretty, that everyone was looking at me and not at her. And Aunt Marina said I was acting like a princess. They made me sit down. I didn't want to. Mom, I really didn't want to. Sophia burst into tears, and Daria dropped her bag to the ground, pulling her daughter into her arms. Her chest ached, as if someone had clenched her heart in a fist. She stroked Sophia's back, feeling her tremble, trying to grasp what she'd just heard. Her daughter, her 11-year-old girl, was held down and given a butchered haircut, like some doll, because she looked too pretty? Because Elizabeth, her niece, felt upstaged? It's okay, sweetie, Daria whispered, though fury boiled inside her. We're going home now, all right? Everything's going to be okay. Sophia nodded, burying her face in Daria's shoulder. Holding her hand, Daria led her to the car. But as she opened the door, she glanced back at the house. The light in the windows no longer looked warm, but fake, like the forced smiles at family gatherings. She wanted to run inside, scream, demand answers, but Sophia, sitting in the passenger seat, looked so small and fragile. Daria held herself back. Let's go home, she said, getting behind the wheel. We'll deal with this later. At home, in their little two-bedroom apartment, it smelled like soup Daria had made that morning. Sophia had changed into her favorite kitty pajamas and sat curled up on the couch, hugging her knees. Daria set a cup of cocoa in front of her and sat down, trying to stay calm. Tell me everything, Sophia. From the beginning, she said softly. Sophia sighed, staring into her mug. When I got there, everything seemed fine. Elizabeth opened my gift. I made her a bead bracelet, remember? She looked happy at first. But then Aunt Marina started saying I was too dressed up. That I was acting like a princess in front of everyone. But I just wanted to look nice, Mom. Daria nodded. She remembered how Sophia had glowed that morning, her soft curls clipped with a flower pin. It was her first real hairstyle, not just a trim, but something special. Daria had made sure the stylist did it right, even if it meant cutting back on their budget. What happened next? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Elizabeth started crying. Sophia lowered her eyes. Right at the table while we were having cake. She said everyone was looking at me, not her. Aunt Marina hugged her and gave me this really mean look. Then Grandma said I was being inappropriate, that I shouldn't outshine the birthday girl. I wanted to leave, but they... Sophia stopped, and Daria felt her chest tighten even more. What did they do, Sophia? They said they needed to cut my hair. That it was only fair. I said no, Mom. I really did. But Aunt Marina grabbed my arm, and Grandma held my shoulders. Grandpa just sat there and said I needed to learn humility. And Elizabeth. Elizabeth laughed. And Arthur filmed it on his phone. Arthur? Daria's brows furrowed. Arthur, Marina's 14-year-old son from her first marriage, always glued to some screen. Yeah, Sophia nodded. He said it was funny and posted the video in their group chat. I heard him giggling while Aunt Marina was cutting. And I just cried, begging them to stop. Daria closed her eyes, trying to contain the flood of rage. Her daughter had been restrained, humiliated, filmed, and she'd been stuck at work, saving strangers' lives. Sophia, you did nothing wrong, do you hear me? This is on them. What they did was cruel. I'll take care of it, I promise. Sophia looked up at her, her eyes full of fear and hope. You won't get mad at Grandma, right? They'll say I tattled. Sophia, Daria took her hand. You're not tattling. You're telling the truth. And I won't let anyone treat you like that. Ever. Sophia nodded, and Daria pulled her into a hug, feeling the sting of tears. But she wouldn't cry. Not now. Now was the time to act. The next morning, Daria woke with a heavy head. Sophia was still asleep, curled up under the blanket. Daria got up quietly, brewed some coffee, and sat at the kitchen table, staring at her phone. She knew calling Marina or her parents now would just end in a screaming match. That wouldn't solve anything. But she couldn't stay silent either. She opened Facebook and messaged her friend Natasha, who worked with her at the hospital and knew the whole family. Hey Nat. I've got a problem. Yesterday, at Elizabeth's birthday, they cut Sophia's hair. Marina, my mom, and dad. By force. Sophia was crying, and they were laughing. They said she was outshining Elizabeth. I'm in shock. What do I do? Natasha replied 5 minutes later. Daria, that's insane. Did you go to the police? Not yet, Daria typed. I'm afraid no one here will take it seriously. You know how it is, family matter, settle it yourselves. Forget the police, Daria. This is bullying. How's Sophia? Maybe she should see a therapist? And wait, you said Arthur filmed it? Did he post it somewhere? Daria froze. She remembered what Sophia had said about the video. If Arthur really posted it in a group chat, that could be evidence. She replied. Natasha, Sophia said he shared it in some chat. I'll try to find out. She gently woke Sophia. Sweetie, you said Arthur filmed the video. Do you know which chat he posted it in? Sophia, still half asleep, rubbed her eyes. I think it was their school group. You know, the one with Elizabeth, Arthur, and their friends. He said it was just for fun. Daria nodded, feeling a spark of determination flicker inside her. She messaged Natasha and asked her to check with her son, who went to the same school, about the video. An hour later, Natasha sent a link to a saved file someone had forwarded from Arthur's group to another chat. Daria opened the video, and her breath caught. On screen, Sophia sat on a chair, her face wet with tears. She kept whispering, "Please don't. I don't want this." Marina, holding scissors, grabbed chunks of her hair and cut them off roughly, tossing them aside. "Stop whining. Don't embarrass yourself." Daria's mother stood nearby with her arms crossed, saying, This is for your own good, Sophia. Don't be selfish. Elizabeth sat on the couch, giggling and yelling. Cut it shorter in the front, make it funny. Arthur was filming, laughing, while Daria's father chewed on a piece of cake and muttered, "Quit acting like a princess." Daria watched the video 3 times. Each time made her want to smash her phone. But instead, she saved the file and typed, "Natasha, I'm posting this. Let everyone see what caring looks like." Natasha replied, "Are you sure, Daria? This is going to blow up. Marina's going to lose it." Let her, Daria thought. They hurt my daughter. Now it's their turn to face the consequences. By evening, Daria made a post in the local Facebook group called Our Millfield. It was a popular group. People discussed everything there, from grocery prices to neighborhood gossip. She attached the video and wrote, "This is what was done to my daughter Sophia at her cousin's birthday party. She's 11. She said no. They held her down, cut her hair, and laughed. This is my sister Marina, my parents, and my niece Elizabeth. See for yourselves." She hit post and turned off her phone, her heart pounding. Sophia, sitting next to a plate of buckwheat, looked at her. "Mom, what's going to happen now?" "Now," Daria took a deep breath, "they'll learn you can't treat people like that. And that you have me." Sophia smiled for the first time all day, and Daria knew she'd done the right thing. By morning, the post had over 1,000 likes and hundreds of comments. People were outraged. "Is this for real? This is bullying. Horrible. Poor girl. Marina always acted stuck up, but this is too much." Some even said, "This should go to the police. It's child abuse." But not everyone agreed. "Hair grows back. Why make a big deal out of it?" wrote someone named Sandra, whom Daria vaguely remembered from school. "It's a family matter. No need to air your dirty laundry," added someone under the name Millfield Patriot. Daria read it all, her chest tightening, but she kept scrolling. Most people were on their side. Marina called around noon. Daria saw her name on the screen and almost declined the call, but picked up. "What the hell are you doing, Daria?" Marina's voice was hoarse, like she'd been yelling all night. "Did you post that video? Do you have any idea what you've done?" "I do," Daria replied calmly. "I showed the truth." "What about you, Marina? You made my daughter cry while you hacked at her hair. You think that's okay?" "It was a joke," Marina barked. Sophia was acting like a princess. Elizabeth was upset. It was her birthday, not Sophia's. "A joke?" Daria's voice turned icy. "You held my daughter down while she cried, and you call that a joke?" And Elizabeth screaming cut it shorter, "That's a joke, too?" Marina went quiet. Daria heard her sniff. "You ruined everything," Marina finally said. "I got called in at work today. I'm a manager at the mall, you know that. I was up for assistant director, and now they said I don't fit the company's values. Because of your post, Daria. Do you get it? I lost my promotion. And do you get what Sophia lost?" Daria's grip on the phone tightened until her fingers turned white. They humiliated her, Marina. They made her feel worthless. And you know what? I don't care about your promotion. You earned this. You're just jealous, Marina snapped. You've always been jealous that I'm the older one, that I had everything better. Now you're taking it out through Sophia. Daria let out a dry laugh, though her chest ached. Jealous? Marina, all I ever wanted was for my daughter to be happy. And you can't even understand that. She hung up before Marina could answer. The phone rang again, her mother. Daria declined the call. She didn't want to hear excuses, guilt trips, or pleas to keep the family's shame private. She looked over at Sophia, who was drawing quietly in her notebook, and knew one thing for sure, none of them would ever get near her daughter again. 2 days later, Daria went to the police. She knew the odds were slim, but she wanted to at least file a report. At the precinct, which smelled like damp concrete, a young officer greeted her. "So, what's going on?" he asked, flipping through some paperwork. Daria explained everything: the birthday, the video, how Sophia was held and forcibly given a haircut. She showed him the clip on her phone. The officer watched it, frowned, then shrugged. "Yeah, that's pretty rough," he said. "But it's not a criminal case. Maybe an administrative violation, at best. But honestly, doubt it. Family stuff, you should handle it yourselves. I saw the video, but, well, no one yanked her hair out or hit her. It'll grow back." Daria clenched her jaw. She'd expected this, but it still hurt to hear. So holding down a child and cutting her hair against her will is just, okay? "It's not okay," the officer sighed. "But you know how the law works. You can file a statement if you want, we'll take it. But don't expect it to go to court or anything." Daria filed the police report more for herself than for any real outcome. She knew nothing would come of it, but she needed something on record. Something that would show Sophia her mom had tried. Meanwhile, the town was buzzing. Daria's post was still being talked about in the local Facebook group, and people were sharing it in other chats. Someone messaged Daria saying they'd seen Marina crying in a cafe, venting to a friend about being publicly destroyed. Others said Daria's parents had stopped going to their usual supermarket because customers whispered behind their backs. Rumor had it Elizabeth had gone quiet at school, and Arthur deleted his Instagram account after classmates started trolling him. But the biggest blow came to Marina a week later. Her husband Samuel, a driver at the local transport company, came home looking like a thundercloud. Daria found out from Natasha, her friend whose brother worked at the same company. Apparently, Samuel's bosses had seen the video and Daria's post. They called him in and told him they didn't want any scandals tied to their employees' families. He was given a choice: resign voluntarily or be let go over some technicality. He chose to resign. Marina's hysterical, Natasha told Daria when they met in the hospital cafeteria. She says you ruined their lives. Samuel's out of a job, she didn't get promoted. She claims you planned it all. Planned it? Daria shook her head. They planned it, Natasha. They messed with Sophia. I just showed the truth. Natasha nodded but gave Daria a concerned look. You're staying strong, but how's Sophia? This must be hard for her. Daria sighed. She knew Natasha was right. Sophia was trying to be brave, but at night, Daria could hear her crying softly in her room. She blamed herself, thinking that if she hadn't gone to that birthday party, none of it would have happened. Every time, Daria would hold her close and say it wasn't her fault. But she knew that wasn't enough. On Saturday, Daria took Sophia to the same salon where she'd gotten her hair done before the party. The stylist, an older woman named Gloria, gasped when she saw Sophia. "Oh honey, what did they do to you?" she exclaimed, gently touching the uneven strands. Sophia looked down, but Daria rested a hand on her shoulder. "Gloria, can you do something to help her feel beautiful again?" Gloria nodded, her eyes full of kindness. "Of course, sweetheart. We'll fix everything. You're gonna look like a star." She worked for nearly an hour, carefully trimming the uneven parts, shaping a short but stylish haircut. Sophia sat quietly, watching in the mirror. And when Gloria spun the chair around to the big mirror, the girl froze. Her hair now fell just above her shoulders in soft waves, with a neat fringe framing her face. It wasn't what it was before, but it was beautiful. "What do you think?" Gloria asked, smiling. Sophia touched her hair, then smiled, really smiled, for the first time in a week. "It's awesome," she said quietly. "I feel like a new me." Gloria refused to take any money, saying it was her gift. Daria thanked her, barely holding back tears. When they stepped outside, she pulled Sophia into a hug. "You've always been beautiful, Sophia. And you always will be. Not because of your hair, but because of who you are. Sophia nodded, and there was a spark in her eyes Daria hadn't seen since that awful day. A month passed. Marina and their parents hadn't called. Daria heard through mutual acquaintances that they were trying to justify what happened, but no one really listened anymore. Samuel found a new job, but it was as a warehouse loader, and the pay was lower. Marina, after losing her promotion, became even more withdrawn. People in town whispered that she still blamed Daria for everything. Sophia, on the other hand, blossomed. Her new haircut became her signature look. Classmates complimented her, and one girl even asked for the same style. She started drawing more, joined a beading club, and one day told Daria, "Mom, I don't want to see Elizabeth anymore. Or Grandma and Grandpa. They hurt me." Daria nodded, pride mixing with sorrow. "You don't have to see them, Sophia. You get to choose who's in your life now." Sophia smiled, and Daria knew they'd made the right decision, not for revenge, not for drama, but so her daughter would know she mattered. That her voice counted. And that no one had the right to make her feel small.